Welcome to the Moonshot Podcast, the podcast where we explore business growth, inspire innovative marketing strategies, and explore the world of company culture. Now here are your hosts, serial entrepreneurs and best-selling authors, James Philip Arbuckle and Kane Carpenter.
You know, we often talk about starting that consulting company that offers shadow board services, or we call it devil's advocate, where you help executives avoid bad decisions. Do you think we should have been sitting on Elon's shoulder at that
That would have been great. Yeah.
at that conference?
Yeah, for sure.
It hasn't made the greatest meme ever, because you seeing the go F yourself meme on everything from, you know, being at Best Buy asking if you want the extended warranty to your buddy asking for a mulligan on the golf course. So that meme's everywhere. Did that need to be said in your mind?
Look, we're the executives here. I no, of course not. Wrong, probably the wrong forum, probably the wrong message. But I'll let you go, James. There is kind of a case to be made for what he's probably feeling, though.
I guess that's like the part we don't know. I think I sent it to you. Someone talking about Elon's ex-wife, talking about to like be a successful entrepreneur, you're going to have to deal with stress that would crush most people or something. And as an entrepreneur, even on a small level, I get it. Like, that's been my life since I was a teenager, and it isn't a never-ending, enduring amount of stress. And I'm thinking, well, what's that like if you have SpaceX, Twitter, Neuralink, some AI, and then, he's not making any friends in this world, it seems. And so you have a lot of adversaries coming at you nonstop. Is that just a boiling point of you're on stage and you're like, I'm willing to lose 40 billion. Like, that's the kind of FU money I have. Has he reached a tipping point, I guess?
So here's another. I think also if you feel like you're doing good, right, by, maybe in his mind it's this is a service for humanity, say, right, a free and open X, and you have people that are against that or don't support it and are as big as a Disney or as big as a whatever, I don't know, a P&G or someone, you would sense a little, you would feel very frustrated, wouldn't you? Like, even with some of the businesses that we're in, like, when the work is great and you feel like, why isn't everybody a client? Because everybody should use this. So I kind of get it.
I guess if I look at that, I saw another chart, and it was CNBC or Bloomberg, or they had a chart of like where advertising dollars are going right now, and it showed, Twitter's ad revenue like dropping off some crazy amount to the left. But on the right, TikTok and TikTok was the biggest winner. And I don't know if that was just did people just stop spending on Twitter, or did they reallocate that budget? And think about what a twist that is, where, okay, we're going to pull ads off of Twitter, and then we're going to go prop up TikTok, which, Chinese-owned company, and now that money's going over there. Is that any better? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they just, well, I'm going to take the money from here, I'm going to go put it over there. Now, is it more effective? I don't know. I'm curious to see. So we talked before about, okay, maybe he's got this bazooka in his pocket and he doesn't care if he's getting the ad dollars, because maybe Joe Rogan's going to come over there. Like, the All In podcast had Tucker on, and I don't listen to Tucker. And I'm not on Twitter, so I don't really know anything, but I didn't realize he has a show on Twitter.
Right.
And I'm thinking, all right, well, could you see where is it a possibility that Rogan ends up over on Twitter and it's the Howard Stern moment for XM, right? Where they had to always negotiate these big contracts with Howard Stern because his audience was keeping XM Sirius alive. Well, but if, Rogan comes over there, is that kind of like, oh, maybe it's not just Rogan. Maybe they're going to line up 2 or 3 or 4 more other people that have massive audiences. And they're going to go, well, look, if you're not advertising here, it's hurting you. Or,
Yeah.
do they just, okay, this is where Tesla's going to constantly advertise. And then by you not being here, you're missing out on a tremendous audience. And does it get to the point where he's going to force you to come there? Is what I'm getting to.
Yeah. 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 I think you talk about this often, but the fiduciary responsibility, right? Like, if your job as Disney CEO is to make sure that you have your messaging in front of as many relevant people as possible, then there is a world where X could be that at some point. I guess to your point about the Tucker thing, though, it does seem like it would be a very brave thing to do to go and tell your advertisers to F off unless you do have some sort of a bazooka or a master plan. So your one is get all Rogan over these kind of things, but could it be that their subscription revenue is stronger than maybe we think, and that there's a world where they don't even need advertisers anymore because they can get everybody on a $8 a month for a service so strong that you get a Rogan for free? Or it's just brave, isn't it, to do that to your advertisers?
It's brave or stupid. I mentioned before, it's like, it's my observation of wealthy people is they're typically trying to hoard as much cash as they can. They're trying to make that number as big as possible to get as high up on Forbes as they can. Like, just get, it's never enough. Got 100 billion, get 200 billion. Got 200 billion, get 400 billion. And to see someone over here that just, he's either reached a tipping point where he's had enough, where it's everything wearing him down. He's like, I don't care if I lose 40 billion. Like, that would be the most FU money thing we've ever seen. Like, most people don't want to lose 100 million.
$100.
And $100, right? And he's over here like, maybe he does care, but he's willing to sink with the ship. And is that even sinking, though? It'll put a dent in his net worth. But he put up X amount, and the people who took on the other debt would be a problem. If I was a debt holder, I wouldn't be very happy, right? If I'm the CEO of that company who's got to run it, I'm not very happy. You're making my life difficult, right? But have you ever seen anyone as a reckless abandon with $40 billion to make a point?
Yeah, that's true.
Most people are looking for like money and power and influence. They want to become president. They want to, you think about it when is it C or Z? I can't, Chinese president came over. Who was in the room? Was Elon in the room?
Oh, was he? Maybe.
I don't know, but we know that BlackRock was there and Jamie Dimon, like all these like big powerful people were there, and
from
like
the private sector.
So I don't know if Elon was there or not, but it's like some of these people that are typically trying to get more money and power just carrying themselves different, and Elon's over here saying, go F yourself. I don't. Maybe he was trying to. He had that kind of rock star moment where he hit a blunt on the Rogan show, right?
Right.
And it turned the whole business world upside down. Oh my God! The guy that owns these massive companies and all this stuff. It was a huge uproar, but it made him the like coolest CEO ever, right? Was he trying to recapture that moment, or is it really just like, I mean it from the bottom of my heart? F you. And then it just comes down to either it was really dumb or something, which I'm assuming something everyone else doesn't know. And maybe you're right, the subscriptions are strong. I mean, what's the math on that, though? How many $8 subscriptions do you got to sell?
That's true.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
But look, that's what Sirius charges. What, $5 to $10 a month for your XM radio? It's
Yeah.
if you could get you know certain amount of people to do their shows on X, would you get a lot more people spending $8 to $10 a month? It's also this place, Kane, that's you have like on YouTube where long format content is. You have the comment section, but you don't get to see those comments throughout all of the YouTube ecosystem. To host the content on X and also be able to, put tweets out about that content and clips and tag people, there's just something different about that versus basic comment sections, right? It's, Twitter's this feed, so they have the content there and the community all in one. You could see where that would be powerful, but it sounds like they need more content.
Yeah, and maybe a big stand like this makes it such that people are more attractive to the platform. I guess he's got his hands in so many businesses that you could monetize the content or the reach on X, and then because I guess like for example, if he can get Tesla market cap up another 40 billion, say, could he then just go and wipe out all the debt on X? Or if Grok, for example, that is it trained on Twitter? I don't know, but like let's say he's got an LLM that's trained on Twitter, and nobody else can touch it. Like that's pretty valuable too.
I don't know crap when it comes down to this, but I don't think this thing goes to zero.
Right.
Didn't he do that with the solar company where Tesla just went and bought it?
I don't know the history that well. It sounds like it could be, yeah.
I remember something where I thought Tesla went and bought his solar company, merged or something. I don't know. I need to go Google. It's off the top of my head here. So you're right. Maybe they find a way to do that. Do they go public again? I don't think it'd be at the amount they raised, but there's ways to get out of this. And the new AI thing that you talked about, they just raised $1 billion. I think they said they were subscribed for $1 billion.
Oh well.
I might have read. That's the Grok thing. X.AI or something. But it's like, if their terms of service is saying, okay, you can't, scrape my site, and then only their bot can scrape. You have access to all this information on Twitter, and then they're learning off of, there's so many different values here. They got the AI thing, they've got Neuralink, he's got SpaceX, he's got Twitter, like probably some other things. I think they'll find a way to extract value out of Twitter. Are you making things more difficult for yourself than you need to?
I mean, there's no doubt about it. Not only for himself, but for that CEO, which just must be an impossible job.
That's what I look at from the CEOs. If I'm the CEO, I'm like, God damn it, this guy again. And then if I'm a debt holder, imagine you're sitting on like, $5 billion in debt that you dumped into this thing to back him, and then he's on stage doing this, and it's like, imagine the phone's blowing up right now. But do you feel like I don't think that was an impulse?
Yeah. You'd hope that it wasn't, that there would be some calculated effort here. And maybe on a long enough timeline, I guess on a long enough timeline, most people would want him to be right? About the world, about the things that he's placed bets on.
Well, two things. So I think he went to bed the night before waiting, like, and knowing that if that comes up, I'm gonna fire this off. Maybe it was impulse, but I feel like this was. I'm gonna think about it, and if this comes up, this is how I'm gonna say it, and that's just a guess. Obviously, I don't know the guy. As far as betting on, like, do we want SpaceX to succeed? Don't you want it to?
Mm-hmm.
Like Starlink, for the whole world getting access to like internet, and you think you want that to succeed?
Right.
Neuralink, I don't know about that, but I don't need a Terminator showing up at my door. Um, sounds cool. It's do you want the electric cars and or whatever they're creating in general, environment sounds like it. And if he's really going to be this champion of like free speech and anti-censorship, then is that a negative thing for um the world? I don't think so. Like at least in this country, right? We're supposed to be all about free speech. So it doesn't seem like that. It's just you wonder, and I go back to like not just this Iger thing and the recent happenings. I think since he's bought it, there's been a group of people trying to sink it,
Right.
and now this has manifested into I am really willing to go to war with you. Who wins that war? I don't know.
Back to your original point about stress, just think about how much he just like kind of gone through in the last, call it 4 weeks.
I mean, self-inflicted to an extent,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
But you and I both talk about the chaos of doing startups and then things we do, and I enjoy the chaos. I don't love the stress, but the nonstop 7-day-a-week chaos, I really enjoy it, and I think it seems like he does too. But I can't imagine the stress of Starlink and Ukraine and fighting with Disney, and I talked to him before. It's like he's got a government against him. It seems even when they didn't invite him to the White House.
Right. Right.
It's Kane. It was an EV summit or something, right?
Hmm.
They are by far they are so far ahead of everybody else right now. And I'm not saying others won't catch up, but in that moment in time, they were so far ahead of everybody else. And they build the stuff here, right? Most of the stuff's built here.
Believe so. Yeah. Yeah.
At least the cars sold here. So your biggest manufacturer of EVs, the leader in EVs, building on American soil, and then the administration doesn't invite you to the White House. And I saw a quote somewhere that said like the GM got invited and they only sold like 26 EVs that year. So like you have a government against you, you have a bunch of mega corporations against you. It's I can't imagine what that's like every day. So maybe that manifests into the what's going on right now. And there's just times when you look at him, and he's been in an interview. I know you saw that interview where he's like, "You wouldn't want to be me." And you can see someone, you can tell like their brain is probably just fried 24 hours a day. And that's not worth 300 billion to me, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose you're right. There's two things that are coming to mind here as you say that, James. The first is back to your free speech point. If you hold free speech kind of as an ideal, and you believe, okay, we all have the right to free speech, it would be pretty disappointing to try to build the free speech platform, say some of the things that you want to say, and then and then realize that there is actual consequence to it. So that I'm of the belief that there should be a consequence to there really isn't free speech. You can't really go around hurting people, but maybe for someone with him who probably nobody says no to, in to realize that there is consequence would be disappointing.
No, but I think he was trying to create a platform that you do have free speech, but it's not. You're allowed to say it, but it doesn't mean there won't be repercussions from what you
Right.
say.
Right.
And I sometimes I think we live in a world where people think they can go say whatever they want, especially online, right? Back in the old days, someone would say something to your face, and then if the other person didn't like it, they'd punch you. Now online, if you think about, go look at the average comment section of a news article.
Right.
It's ugly.
Yeah.
It's very ugly, and that's kind of this culture that we developed. Even if you look at, you know, your average TikTok comments on something, it's even Kane on things that are positive sometimes. The amount of like this ugliness, and it's not good, right? But I guess that is free speech, right? It's they're allowed to say that. Um, but I think what many people have learned is that, and even Elon Musk recently, you can say it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't come with a cost. And but I guess to what you just said is that if there's a cost, then is free speech really free? I don't know. It's making my brain hurt. Outside of where my mind's going today.
Don't pick a fight with Disney. No, I'm just kidding.
Why pick a fight with any, like, it's unfortunately, like, you do look at, and I'm gonna rewind the clock, like, I'm not talking about just the Disney thing, it's there's like, the politics of things are so intertwined anymore with the government, with the large corporations in general, that it's not just doing business anymore. It's you almost need, like, political advisors on your staff to run a company anymore.
Right.
Um it's just not as enjoyable to do business than it was, like, 20 years ago, I'll say. It's far more complex. It's like navigating landmines everywhere you go, and everything's polarized. Everyone's so opinionated and dug in on their ideals, and I just miss the days of kinda making a good product or service, taking care of your customers, taking care of your employees, making a few bucks, and I feel like we're so far away from that now.
Yeah. It's almost strategy by backlash or something now. Like oh, we've got backlash here. We've got to change strategy. Backlash here, change strategy. I mean, they. I read an article after reading the Elon stuff that said that, well, as a result of that, people started canceling their Disney Plus subscription. So it's everybody just gets hurt by it, which, yeah, to your point, not a really fun place to do business.
It's not, it's just like I said, it's not business used to be this thing, and it's now morphed into this other thing that's not really enjoyable, and um it doesn't seem like it's getting any better anytime soon either. So
Yeah.
um not until the AI takes over and does all our jobs for us. So
Right.
I'm waiting for AI to make the perfect coffee, and
Oh, that'd be good.
it's that we're on the right path. I need AI that's gonna make me the perfect pizza dough, and uh, life will get better from there. Anyways, anything else on this one?
No, I think we've covered it pretty well.
All right. Well, we'll catch you on the next one.
All right.